Good day, and welcome to the Bilibili 2021 third quarter financial results and business update conference call. Today's conference is being recorded. At this time, I would like to turn the conference over to Juliet Yang, Executive Director of Investor Relations. Please go ahead.
Thank you, operator. During this call, we'll discuss our business outlook and make forward-looking statements. These comments are based on our predictions and expectation as of today. Actual events or results could differ materially from those mentioned in today's news release and in this discussion due to a number of risks and uncertainties, including those mentioned in our most recent filing with the SEC and Hong Kong Stock Exchange. The non-GAAP financial measures we provide are for comparison purpose only. Definition of these measures and a reconciliation table are available in the news release we issued earlier today. As a reminder, this conference call is being recorded. In addition, an investor presentation and a webcast replay of this conference call will be available on the Bilibili IR website at ir.bilibili.com. Joining us today from Bilibili senior management are Mr. Rui Chen, Chairman of the Board and Chief Executive Officer, Ms. Carly Li, Vice Chairwoman of the Board and Chief Operating Officer, and Mr. Sam Fan, Chief Financial Officer. And I will now turn the call over to Mr. Fan, who will read the prepared remarks on behalf of Mr. Chen.
Thank you, Juliet. Thank you everyone for participating in our 2021 third quarter results conference call. I'm pleased to deliver today's opening remarks on behalf of Ms. Chen. Our strong third quarter results once again demonstrate our ability to execute and deliver our growth strategy. In our peak summer season, we added over 13 million MAUs to our Bilibili community, bringing our total MAUs to 267 million, up 35% year-over-year. Mobile MAUs also rose to 250 million, and the DAUs came in at 72 million, representing growth of 36% and 35% respectively, both on a year-over-year basis. This solid growth makes us more confident than ever that we can reach our MAU growth target by 2023. Importantly, our community is becoming more engaged and even stickier. Expanded video content across formats and scenarios drove an increase in users' daily time spent on Bilibili, which reached 88 minutes in Q3, the highest we have ever seen in our operating history. This is particularly impressive and really shows the quality of our old and new users, given how fast we have grown. Other key operating metrics also grew substantially. Daily video views were up 77% to 2.3 billion. Monthly interactions were up 86% to 10 billion. And the monthly video submissions were up 80% to 10 million. Each of these metrics represents all-time highs and reflects the health of our community, as well as the strength of the engine that powers our growth. Our effort to grow our user base while maintaining a strong and tight-knit community also had a very positive impact on our commercialization progress. Total revenues in Q3 reached 5.2 billion, up 61% year-over-year, beating the high end of our previous guidance. By matching the right content to our growing number of Bilibili users, more traffic was converted to paying users. MPUs reached 24 million in the third quarter, up 59% year-on-year, and our paying ratio grew to 8.9%. Another factor driving our top line is our increasing appeal to business partners. This is particularly true for advertisers, who are eager to gain visibility with the growing number of Gen Z Plus users on our platform. To reach an even broader number of users, Last year, we redefined our brand proposition with the face or the videos you like. Today, more users recognize and view Bilibili as the go-to destination for high-quality video content. In recent Brand Z report, Bilibili was ranked as the number 2 most valuable brand name in China in terms of growth rate. With increasing recognition from advertisers across different industry verticals, our ad revenue grew by 110% year-on-year in the third quarter, even with macroeconomic challenges. Looking ahead, visualization trends continue to surge, rapidly emerging as the preferred and new norm. As a premium video platform with broad content and community appeal, we expect to see continued benefit from the increasing visualization movement. Carrying out our solid strategy to expand our content, community, and commercialization, we believe we are on the right path to becoming a valuable new gateway to the internet. We have also strengthened our commitment to social responsibility. Using our public influence, we are further developing an inclusive community, promoting positive content, and enacting better ESG practice. With that overview, I would now like to walk you through some details of our third quarter operations. I will begin with the first part of our 3C model, our content. The key to our user growth lies with our broad unmatched PUGVs. At the center of our video ecosystem, PUGVs continue to flourish, accounting for 93% of our video views in the third quarter. We have carefully created an extensive platform for high-quality content creators to be recognized, appreciated, and valued. We continue to improve our toolkits and services to lower barriers of creation, including our evolving video editing app, Bijian, as well as various creator support programs. In the third quarter, monthly video submission hit a milestone of 10 million, up 80% year-over-year. The number of monthly active content creators also accelerated to 2.7 million, up 61% year-on-year. With our continuous efforts to improve our traffic distribution mechanism, content creators can flourish and attract fans more easily. In the third quarter, content creators with more than 10,000 followers grew by 42% year-over-year. We continue to optimize and create new venues for them to realize their commercial value. These include our advertising matching platform, Sparkle, and the live broadcasting platform, bringing more commercialization opportunities to content creators at all levels. Our ongoing cash incentive program is also motivating an increasing number of mid-layer creators, encouraging their continuous content creation. By the end of the third quarter, 481,000 creators had benefited from this plan. Bilibili is the home to thousands of interest-based content categories, and we are excited by our roadmap to keep building great new content experience for our users. In the third quarter, the top 5 popular PUGV categories of lifestyle, game, entertainment, ACG, and knowledge continue to flourish. As we welcome more users across various demographics, other emerging verticals such as fitness, food, and travel are also gaining increasing interest. In addition to expanding content categories, we are also expanding our content formats to meet user different needs. For example, Story Mode, our short-form video content in our mobile app, offers quick on-the-go entertainment, which is designed to suit user fragment time. Conversely, our Bilibili app on smart TV is the perfect solution for users seeking a high quality, high resolution, immersive video experience on a larger screen. We are encouraged by the strong momentum in user growth and engagement and believe there is still a lot of room to grow ahead. For our OGV department, our OGV content reinforces our leading PUGV verticals and introduces new ones to broaden our reach and our community's horizon. Leveraging both our platform and production capabilities, our OGVs are helping drive created in China content. For example, Chinese anime can breathe new life into classic tales, helping Chinese culture resonate with the young generation. In the second half of this year, we released multiple Bilibili produced anime titles, including the second seasons of mega hits Carbon Reborn, Yuanlong, and 100 Monsters, 百妖谱, as well as the daily life of the immortal king, 仙王的日常生活, all of which were immediately reviewed by anime lovers. Similarly, our documentaries and the variety shows are echoing within areas of young Chinese interest. These have achieved great success in promoting the Bilibili brand and building influence within these content verticals. Our self-produced matchmaking hit 90婚介所, 90婚介所 is a good example that deeply resonated with our Gen Z Plus users and has given legs to discussions beyond the Bilibili community, trending on social media platforms for weeks. We also released a music variety show, The Next Banner, 我的音乐你听吗, in Q3. The show supplements our newer music content creations and appeals to music lovers in our community. In addition, we launched a series of self-produced, widely welcomed food-themed documentaries with more to come, including the upcoming third season of The Story of Char, 人生一串三, which reflects the growing interest in Chinese cuisine as well as the lifestyle categories. Turning to our community, our thrilling community shows the quality of our user growth. In the third quarter, daily video views increased by 77% year-over-year to 2.3 billion, and the monthly interactions were up 86%, reaching over 10 billion. Both metrics grow much faster than expected, and our users showed increasing engagement across our community. These interactions are the essential elements that make Bilibili experience so unique. At the same time, we are excited to see more casual users converting to official members by taking our unique community entrance exam. By the end of the third quarter, we grew the number of official members by 38% year-on-year to 133.6 million. For this co-user cohort, the 12-month retention rate remained above 80% in the third quarter, once again showing the strength of our community. Now, let's look at our commercialization progress. Our diverse revenue streams have become more and more balanced. While revenue from each of our segments grew in the third quarter, our advertising revenues have become our larger growth engine, followed by our VAS and e-commerce offering. Let's look at this in more detail. Within our commercialization segments, starting with our game. We see game as an advanced format of entertainment and a representation of culture soft power. Believing in the positive power of good games, our goal is to bring users more high-quality game both domestically and internationally, with a heightened focus on internal development. Leveraging our deep understanding of user preference and our rich game operating experience, we are devoted to building our development capabilities for the new generation of players. At the same time, we are adamant from promoting exciting Chinese culture to large gaming world. Looking specifically at our third quarter game performance, revenue from our mobile games increased by 9% year-over-year, to 1.4 billion. We added 3 new titles domestically to our roster of exclusive licensed games. All have been well received by their followers. We also celebrated the 5th-year anniversary of our legacy title, FGO, in September. Additionally, we successfully jointly published more premium games, including Tencent's League of Legends and NetEase's Harry Potter, continuing to expand game offering in diverse genres. As for our domestic game pipeline, 9 games have acquired approval and are ready for domestic release in the coming quarters. In the meantime, we are rolling out more Chinese game masterpieces to global game market. Following our success of Final Gear, 重装战机, we continue to build our distribution capabilities with the successfully launch of Figure Story, 高能手办团, in South Korea in September. The game became an instant hit, and we plan to replicate this success with more games overseas by leveraging our deep understanding of ACG lovers' tastes, our game selection know-how, and our strong distribution power. We are committed to operating responsibly to promote healthy game behaviors and protect teenagers from gaming addiction. As early as 2019, we launched anti-addiction measures for teen players and have continued to strengthen control mechanisms. By the end of August, all Bilibili operated games fully complied with the latest regulation on restriction minor game play time in China. We would also like to note that revenues from players under 18 accounted for less than 1% of game revenues in September of 2021. Turning to our VAS business. Our VAS business is the perfect illustration of our business to consumer B2C model. It represents our users' trust in our brand and willingness to pay for Bilibili content and services. In the third quarter, our VAS business continued to be our largest earner, reaching RMB 1.9 billion, up 95% year-over-year. Unlike any other live broadcasting platform, Bilibili live broadcasting has been uniquely integrated with our content ecosystem from day one. As a natural extension of video content, it amplifies our leading content verticals as well as the influence of our content creators. We continue to enrich our live broadcasting content during the period, providing more tools to facilitate our virtual host growth. We are excited to see the increasing influence of various game live content from our community, including League of Legends, Honor of Kings, and Genshin Impact. For example, we saw a record-breaking level of popularity for this year's League of Legends World Championship SC11 on Bilibili. On the final game night, the peak concurrent viewers increased by over 160% compared with S10, and we achieved the highest DAU ever in our operating history. We are also diversifying within more entertainment-related offerings, especially for virtual uploader or VR related content. In Q3, we had triple digital year-over-year growth in both number of active VRs and number of viewers in this category. We will continue to add and expand and strengthen our position as the world's leading virtual live broadcasting community. Thanks to our growing roster of high-quality OGV and the user tendency to pay for content, our premium member grew to 18.2 million by the end of third quarter, an increase of 42% year-over-year. For ACG lovers, our comic and audio drama content continue to attract more paying users, again showing the high willingness of our users to pay for content they want, and the vast potential that offers as we add exciting new content. As for our advertising services, advertising represents our business-to-business B2B model and is also thriving. Despite macroeconomic facts, our advertising revenue continued to be robust in the third quarter, reaching total advertising revenues of RMB 1.2 billion, an increase of 110% year-over-year. Our enhanced brand influence and our growing number of quality user function has as the building blocks of sustainable growth. As our integrated marketing campaign covers more industry customers, the creativity and the commercial value of our content creators is gaining wider recognition. More native ad videos went well in Q3, making Bilibili the most sought-after platform in China for advertisers. We continue to promote our integrated marketing campaign and introduce more ad products to our inventory, helping our content creators monetize their talent. During the third quarter, our top 5 advertising verticals were mobile games, skincare and cosmetics, e-commerce, digital products, and food and beverage. As we move forward, we will continue to advance our growth strategy and create value for our stakeholders. At the same time, we are committed to shouldering our social responsibility to make the world a better place, including supporting rural education, disaster relief, reducing our carbon footprint, and furthering green initiatives. Moreover, as a proud Chinese corporate citizen with increasing reach, we dream that one day, using art forms such as games, anime, and PUGVs, we will be able to spread Chinese culture across the world. This concludes Mr. Chen's remarks. I will now provide a brief overview of our financial results for third quarter of 2021 and the outlook for the fourth quarter. Total net revenues for third quarter were 5.2 billion, up 61% from the same period of 2020. We continue to see a more balanced revenue mix driven by our diversified commercialization channels. Our total net revenues breakdown by revenue stream was approximately 27% mobile games, 37% VAS, 23% advertising, and 13% e-commerce and other business. Cost of revenues increased by 70% year-over-year to RMB 4.2 billion. Revenue sharing costs, a key component of cost of revenues, were RMB 2.2 billion, representing 83% increase from the same period in 2020. Gross profit increased by 34% year-over-year to 1 billion, and our gross margin was 19.6% in the third quarter. Total operating expenses was RMB 2.9 billion, up 57% from the same period in 2020. Selling and marketing expenses was RMB 1.6 billion, representing a 37% increase year-over-year. The increase was primarily attributable to increased channel and marketing expenses to promote our app and brand, as well as promotional expenses for mobile games and increase in our headcount in sales and marketing personnel. Q3 is our peak season in brand marketing and user acquisition efforts. We strategically allocated more resources and are pleased with the strong momentum shown in both base growth as well as the quality of our users in terms of engagement levels. G&A expenses was RMB 474.9 million, representing an 87% increase year-over-year. The increase was primarily due to increased headcount in general and administrative personnel, increased share-based compensation expenses, and higher rental expenses. R&D expenses were RMB 788.3 million, representing a 97% increase year-over-year. The increase was primarily due to increased headcount in research and development personnel and increased share-based compensation expenses. Net loss was RMB 2.69 billion for the third quarter of 2021, compared with RMB 1.1 billion in the same period of 2020. Adjusted net loss, which is a non-GAAP measure that excludes share-based compensation expenses, amortization expenses related to intangible assets acquired through business acquisitions, income tax related to intangible assets acquired through business acquisition, and the loss on fair value change in public trade companies was RMB 1.62 billion, compared with RMB 0.97 billion in the same period of 2020. Basic and diluted net loss per share were each RMB 6.90. Adjusted basic and diluted net loss per share were each RMB 4.16. As of September 30, 2021, we had cash and cash equivalents, time deposits, as well as short-term investment of RMB 24.4 billion, compared with RMB 12.8 billion as of December 31, 2020. Our sufficient cash reserve gives us great confidence in our ability to execute our growth strategy, which we believe will yield considerable return in the long run. With that in mind, we are currently projecting net revenues for the fourth quarter of 2021 to be between RMB 5.7 billion and RMB 5.8 billion. Thank you for your attention. We would like now to open the call to your questions. Operator, please go ahead.
To ask a question, you will need to press star one on your telephone. To withdraw your question, please press the pound or hash key. For the benefit of all participants on today's call, if you wish to ask a question to management in Chinese, please immediately repeat your question in English. Please limit your question to one at a time. If you wish to have follow-up question, please rejoin the queue. Please stand by while we compile the Q&A roster. Our first question comes from the line of Alex Poon from Morgan Stanley. Please go ahead.
谢谢管理层接受我的提问。我有一个问题关于用户增长的。三季度我们用户增长比之前的指引做得更好，做到 2.67 个亿。时长方面也做到88分钟，是历史最高。想问一下，具体在三季度我们做了什么事情去达到这个成绩？然后想问一下我们 4Q 和明年用户增长的展望。谢谢。My first question is regarding user growth. The user growth in Q3 has exceeded previous guidance of 260 million, and also the time spent has reached a record high of 88 minutes per user per day. So I wonder, management can explain what have we done in Q3 to achieve these results, and in Q4 and next year, what are our expectations? Thank you very much.
就这么多年来，其实 B 站在用户增长方面的原则一直是没有变的。我们是通过我们的健康的蓬勃向上的一个内容生态，然后产生高质量的内容来驱动用户数的增长。
So for all these years, the principle for Bilibili to grow our user has remained the same, which is driven by very healthy content ecosystem, and those content ecosystem will continuously produce high quality content to attract users.
当然我们每年的侧重点会有进化吧。就像去年我们的侧重点其实主要是对于品类的一个扩张，对于新品类的扩张。而对于我们今年的侧重点，除了对于品类进一步的扩张之外的话，我们还有对于场景的一个扩张。然后我们今年其实应该是希望能够打造一个全场景全品类的这么一个视频社区。
So every year we'll have evolved emphasized area. For example, last year it was all about expansion and content categories, And for this year, beside expansion of content categories, we also hope to achieve expansion of consumption scenarios. Building a multi-scenario, multi-content category video community is our goal.
我一直认为那个视频的主场不仅仅是手机，虽然手机是现在大家使用频度最高的一个设备，但是随着未来带宽的一个扩大，也随着未来视频的这个质量不断的提高，我认为更多的那个屏幕也会成为视频的主场，比如说电视屏。
So I have always thought that video's main battlefield is beyond just mobile phones. Although nowadays mobile phone is the main consumption scenario. However, I think as the technology evolve and such as the 5G adoption and the overall hardware's involvement, in the future, more and more screen will carry the purpose of running a video, for example, on a larger screen.
我们现在电视端的 MAU 已经超越了这个 PC 端，成为我们现在 MAU 排名第2的设备，而且我认为电视端还有进一步的增长潜力。
So right now our OTT smart TVs MAU has surpassed our MAUs on the PC side, becoming our number 2 user component. And I still think there's plenty of room for us to further expand in those areas.
而且我们在电视端不仅是用户数量的一个增长，我们在电视端的播放时长也是长于其他的终端的。
So not only that we have more users on the smart TV side, actually the time spent on the smart TV is also much longer than the rest of the on the rest of the terminals.
B 站肯定是国内 4K 视频最多的一个平台，我觉得这个也是那个就是 B 站适合在电视端看的原因。
Bilibili probably has the most number of videos that is in 4K, and that is also the reason why Bilibili's content is most suitable for those larger screens.
对，再比如说我们今年也上线了我们的这个 Story 的模式，它其实是我们的 UP 主，他也可以在我们上面去投这种竖屏的，就手机竖屏的这种小视频，然后这一块也很受用户的欢迎，它也是在我们的生态下成长出来的另一个场景。
Another example would be our story mode. Within the story mode, our content creator can upload videos that's in the horizontal mode, which was also well loved by our users. And within the scenario, our user can enjoy those quick on-the-go entertainment content.
OK， 这个是说我们就是今年的这个就是全品类、全场景的这个增长的一个策略。我还想特别说的就是，其实 Q3 的这个不仅是用户的数据比较好，我认为从中间体现出来的我们的这个用户质量应该更受到关注。我们的这个平均使用时长是在不断的提升，同时的话，我们的互动数也在不断的提升。
Here I wanted to point out that in the third quarter, we not only have a fast-growing number of user base, the quality of those users are also very, very good. For example, the time spent 88 minutes is the highest we've seen in our operation history. And also the user engagement number also experienced a very fast growth. All of those indicate that we have grow with quality. That's very important.
我们 Q3 的月均的这个用户互动的数字是突破了100亿。
Our monthly user interactions, average monthly user interaction in Q3 has reached 10 billion milestone.
而且我们付费用户的增长也非常的健康，我们的付费用户是达到了2400万，而且我们的付费率是在过去几个季度是连续提升。Q3 是达到了 8.9%。
And also on the paying conversion in Q3, our paying user reached 24 million, and our paying ratio continues to rise, reaching 8.9% in the third quarter.
我记得我在2017年的时候，我当时就预测过，我说 B 站这个平台，它的付费率一定能够突破2位数啊！我现在还是这么看，虽然我们用户增长的很快，但是我认为我们用户的质量是非常高的，所以的话就是这些人他喜欢我们的内容之后，他会愿意为我们的内容付费，然后付费的一个数字最后的一个增长，它会比用户的一个增长还要快。
Back in 2017, I predicted that Bilibili's paying ratio could reach double digit, and I still believe that. Even though our users growing extremely fast, the quality of the user is also extremely high. Those users love our content and are very willing to pay for this content. We believe in the end of the day, the revenue generated from our users will be faster than the increase of our users number.
对于 Q4 的话，就是因为按照过去 B 站每年的一个曲线，我们预测 Q4 的这个用户数量应该是平稳的，就是稳中有增吧，就是大于等于 Q3。然后至于明年的话，因为我们之前是做过一个就是未来3年的这么一个用户量的一个目标嘛，就是我们3年后会达到4个亿，所以的话就是明年我们会按照这个目标的一个节奏往前走，我们是有信心，就是我们达到3年4个亿的这个目标的。
So as for Q4's outlook, similar with our traditional seasonality, we expect Q4's users base to be stable or a slight increase. As for our user target for 2022, we raised our 3-year MAU target of 400 million users by 2023. And for next year, we will continue to execute on that strategy and to step by step achieving that target. And we're still very, very confident to be able to achieve that user goal by 2023.
其实可以稍微补充一下这个 TV 端的一个比较令我们超出预期的数据。本身的话，我们认为 B 站的用户的渗透，我们一直会讨论究竟到多少嘛。其实在 TV 端我们看到一组数据，我们离 App 端的用户的重合度是低于 20% 的。它大多数用户还是在3、4、5线城市，这个完全差异化的这个用户的就是活跃，让我们更加有信心 B 站现有的这个内容储备在往后产品的变化，包括多场景的变化里面，应该在用户的渗透增长端还有极大的空间。
One thing I would like to add is about our smart TV users. And originally we thought this TV user versus our app user would have relatively higher overlap. As a matter of fact, the overlap is only about 20%. And a lot of the smart TV users are users coming from 3rd, 4th, and 5th tier city. So these differences give us great confidence in terms of further penetrating our target cohort, and we believe with Bilibili's fast content library and evolving scenario, we should be able to achieve our user target.
Thank you. Our next question comes from Daniel Chen from JP Morgan. Please go ahead.
晚上好，管理层，谢谢接受我的问题啊。我的问题是关于广告的。我们看到3季度整体的广告增长还是非常的强劲。想问一下怎么去看待这个今年4季度，还有就是明年的一个广告收入的一个展望啊。然后我们有没有看到就一些外部的因素，比如说宏观的经济的情况，还有就是这个数据安全这块的政策，对整体广告的影响谢谢。I will translate myself. My question is related to advertising. So we have seen such a strong growth in the third quarter, triple-digit year-over-year growth. So what's our expectation into the fourth quarter of this year and also 2020? And also, are we seeing the impact from like a weak macro environment and also data security policies, are we seeing those implications to our advertising revenue? Thank you.
Q3 的话，我们广告的收入其实达到了11.7亿，同比增长超过110%，已经实现了连续10个季度超预期的增长。
In Q3, our ad revenue reached 1.17 billion, up over 110% year-on-year. This is the 10th consecutive quarter of beating expectation level of growth.
就以往的季度都多次提及了 B 站的整体的广告发展逻辑的底层是什么，也经常提及了基础建设的措施，也会提及了我们的策略，可能在这一次就不再重复了，主要是分享一下 Q3 以及 Q4 我们可以分享的一些数据，还有一些新的变化给各位作为参考。
So we have repeatedly discussed the theory of Bilibili's ad business logic and our efforts in building our infrastructures as well as strategies in the past few quarters, which I will not go in further details this time. However, I will share some of the data and new changes we've seen so far in the fourth quarter and also in the third quarter.
Q3 的话，我们的广告效率得到了持续的提升，主要还是得益于我们深度学习的模型，还有前期智能创意进一步的应用。这个部分的话，带动了整体信息流的 CTR 提升了超过30%。我觉得这个往后在 Q4 或者明年效率提升这一块也将是我们持续的重点。
First of all, we see continuous improvement in our ad efficiency thanks to our deep learning models involvement as well as the further adoption of more innovative ad scenarios. The click-through rate of our feed ads improved by 30%, and we expect this will further drive our fourth quarter and next year ad revenue growth.
第二个呢是其实广告的多场景，刚才岳总也提到，广告的多场景也随着我们用户增长的多场景已经打通，实现从手机 App、iPad、TV 大屏、PC 全场景的覆盖，也开拓了 Inline、Story、动态等视频的新场景。往后的话，随着用户的增长，我们的用户看到哪里，我们的广告的内容也可以随之跟到哪里。
Second is we further integrated multiple ad scenarios, as Rizal mentioned, from our mobile apps on our mobile phones to iPad, Smart TV, and PC. We continue to add new ad inventory, including ad products like Inline, Stories, and Moments. And as our user continues to expand, our ad can follow.
Q3 的话，同时第三点的话 ，Q3 超过1.5万的 UP 主入驻了花火，同比增长超过25%。看到另外一组数据，就是品牌的复投率依然超过75%。B 站优质 UP 主的创造的创意内容，其实已经成为了整个互联网市场新的营销标杆。那我们会结合这些营销的标杆，从我们的商单体系起飞，以致品牌效果整合营销的链路进一步的打通，也同步获得了市场的认可。我觉得这在 Q3 也是比较明显的一个大的变化。
The third point is on the Sparkle ad platform. We have over 150,000 content creators joined. This is up 25% year-on-year. And we also have repetitive ad customers over 75%. And Bilibili's content creator produce more and more highly creative native ad content, and it's becoming the new beacon in China ad market. And we'll continue to build on that success and further to integrate our one-stop solution of native ads, brand ads, feed ads, including our project Takeoff, which all have been widely acknowledged in the ad ad industry.
第4个点可以分享，就双11期间，我们的日消耗突破2500万，电商的预算份额在全网在第5，就转化的 ROI 的逻辑来说是在全媒体的第1，这一点可以证明了平台高质量的用户转化效率跟消费潜力还是极大的。在明年的整体的电商消费上或者常规的这个品牌消费上，我们还极其有信心进一步突破。
And the 4th point is during this year's Singles Day, our daily ad GMV were over RMB 25 million, ranking number 5 in terms of ad budget market share, and the overall conversion ROI ranked number 1 in the space. This further proves the high quality of our user and their potential consumption power. We expect next year in the overall consuming advertising consumers ad industry will continue to raise our performances and achieve greater success.
第5点的话，说一下客户拓展。在客户行业上，除了我们传统比较优势的领域，像游戏、食品饮料、3C 数码等，其实这个 Q 开始汽车、服饰、鞋包等行业在 B 站取得了超出我们预期的高速增长。同时第6点的话呢，就预计我们广告视频化也将进一步大幅度的带动广告效率的提升，我们会把一站式的视频体验所提升。Q3 有一个很明显的数据，会看到视频形态的广告效率会2倍于现在当前的图文形态，整个 eCPM 的价格也会得到比较 eCPM 的这个预估也会带来超过100%以上的提升。我觉得以上就是分享一些这个 Q 的跟下个 Q 可以的一些案例跟数据吧。
And the 5th and the 6th point is, first of all, on our ad clients, besides our traditional strong vertical like game, food and beverage, 3C, skincare and cosmetics, we see emerging verticals such as automotive, handbag and apparel are also growing rapidly. Last but not least is on our we see new format of video-based ads as also driving the improvement of our ad efficiency and forming one-stop ad solution on Bilibili. Our Q3 number shows that video-based ad is 2 times more efficient than the traditional picture and text-based ads, and we expect the eCPM will have the potential to further grow by 100%.
刚才你也提到个人信息保护法等相关的政策，我相信对我们明年的增长不会有特别明显的影响。那我们还是比较有信心，在 Q4 以及明年可以保持在广告收入上继续保持健康高速的增长吧。谢谢。
So lastly, on whether there's going to be impact of the recent data security regulations, we don't think there will be any visible impact to our ad business, and we still have confidence to deliver healthy and fast growth in our ad segment in Q4 and in next year.
Thank you. The next question comes from the line of Brian Gong from Citi. Please go ahead.
管理层晚上好，谢谢接受我的提问。就是我们的生态呢，包含了这个游戏视频直播，而且本身就是一个虚拟的社区，所以 BILI 看起来应该是中国互联网领域里比较符合元宇宙趋势的一个主要平台之一。所以想请问一下管理层，我们有没有计划在元宇宙这方面进行布局，以及或者说将如何布局？谢谢。I will translate myself. Our ecosystem covers gaming, video, live streaming, and actually we already have a virtual community. BILI seems to be among those key platforms in China that could explore metaverse opportunity. So my question is that how does management see BILI's positioning in this theme, and how will BILI to seize this opportunity? Thank you.
我在今年7月份有一次投资人会的时候，我就说过一个观点，我说元宇宙是一个概念，它并不是一个产品。 这个概念它包含了一些产品的要素，比如说虚拟现实，然后比如说一个紧密的社交体系，比如说在游戏内的一个自循环的生态系统。然后其实这些要素本身都不新，这些要素已经有一些公司实现了像 Facebook 像腾讯其实 B 站也实现了这些要素当中的一部分。
As I mentioned in an investor conference earlier this year, metaverse is a concept, it's not a product. And before this concept emerged, actually many of the elements associated with metaverse already existed, whether it's virtual reality, a tight social community, or a system, social system, or self-reinforcing ecosystem. It's already existed, and there are a lot of companies already developing product on those concepts. For example, Facebook and Tencent, and actually Bilibili is one of them.
所以的话就是如果现在听到元宇宙的概念，然后再宣布布局或者进军元宇宙的那些公司，我认为他们应该是来不及了，因为这些元素当中像我刚才提到的，就是无论是社交体系还是这个内部的生态系统，它都不是几个月甚至是1-2年就能够把它做好的。
So that's why I think that if someone hears the concept of metaverse and decided to get into this business, probably would be a little bit too late. That is because those elements such as social system, self-reinforcing ecosystem, all of which cannot be done in a couple of months or even in years.
我认为在元宇宙这个概念里面有一个非常重要的东西那就是它需要有一个自循环的内容生态我觉得元宇宙这个概念它讲的这个产品它不是一家公司就能做完的，因为没有任何一家公司有这样的内容产能，它能够产生出一个世界出来。所以的话就是在这个产品体系里面必须得有一大群人深入在里面创作内容，并且自身能够通过他在这个体系里创作的内容获利。
And I believe there's a very, very important element within the metaverse concept, which is a self-reinforcing content ecosystem. When we talk about metaverse, we think this is not something can be done by a singular company. You need to have massive content production capability to produce another world. So that's why we believe it requires someone deeply connected into this system, and through creating content, they will achieve benefit, hence bonding even tighter within the system itself.
让一大群创作者在体系内创作内容，并且让这些创作者通过内容获利，这其实就是 B 站的生态一直以来秉承的理念比如说我举个例子吧，像我们的这个虚拟主播我们的虚拟主播其实就是这样的一个案例，就是我们的这些 UP 主，然后通过动作捕捉这样的一个技术，然后他能够变成另外一个世界的另外一个角色，并且这些角色他能够去唱歌、跳舞、演戏、说段子，然后这些虚拟的角色表演的这些内容，它会受到很多用户的支持和喜爱。其实这就是一个在体系内生态的例子。
And Bilibili has a very large base of content creator are creating content in Bilibili system, and they are benefiting from this creation process. That makes Bilibili the ideal platform to further explore in this metaverse concept. Actually, this is something Bilibili has always been practicing and believed in. And we have many examples linked to this concept. For example, virtual uploader. Our content creator can leverage technology like motion capture, virtual reality, augmented reality, turning themselves into another character in another world, and creating content such as singing and dancing, talking jokes, all of that, attracting users and make user fall in love with them. And itself, it is a perfect example of implementing the creation system into this metaverse concept.
如果真的有一个元宇宙概念那里描述的一个无限宽广的世界，然后有几百万人、上千万人，或者甚至是上亿人在这个世界里面的话，那它一定是需要非常非常多的，比现在 B 站还要多的创作者在里面不断的创作内容，它才能够让这几千万上亿的用户在里面流连忘返，认为它是一个吸引人的一个世界。所以我认为这就是一个需要一个自循环的创作生态。
When we're talking about metaverse, independent, separate universe that attracting hundreds of millions of users who are getting attached to this, it requires way more than what we have now. Those content creators to continuously create content and keep them attracted, and that's the exact reason why we believe that metaverse requires a self-reinforcing, deep content creation ecosystem.
目前 B 站已经有一套出色的一个创作生态，而且围绕着这个生态，我们已经形成了一个月活2.7亿人的一个大的社区，而且这2.7亿人里面，大部分是中国最有创造力和最有活力的年轻人。所以的话，就是我确实认为 B 站是在中国吧，就是最适合去实现元宇宙这个概念的公司之一。
And Bilibili has a very outstanding and healthy content creation ecosystem. And surrounded that ecosystem, we have already attracted a tight community of over 267 million MAUs. And within that 267 MAUs, a vast majority are the most creative, most energetic young Chinese. So that's why I do think Bilibili is probably one of the best companies to practice or to get into the metaverse business.
但是我认为元宇宙其实还是一个远期的一个目标。说实话，所有关于元宇宙的讨论全部都是在资本层面和媒体层面，我几乎没有听到真正做产品的人在讨论这个，因为这个确实还是挺远的，就是它需要的前提，它是需要产品跟技术有突破才能够去实现这个概念的。我认为它真的不在最近的2-3年。
However, I do think metaverse is a concept in a long time horizon, and it's also a future objective. We've must heard a lot of discussion about metaverse, but I think it's mostly on a capital level or on a media level. I rarely heard anything on a product level because it does require breakthrough in product and technologies. So that's why I do think this is still far ahead, but it's the future.
但我认为这确实是一个非常美好的一个远景因为它确实能够带给人就是真正升级的一个用户体验。就像我们之前看头号玩家，或者说是我们看那个动画片刀剑神域一样。
I do believe this is a very, very beautiful vision in the future. It brings elevated user experience. The scenes that we've seen in the movie Ready Player One or in the anime Sword Art Online, this metaverse concept does bring a very beautiful experience to users.
我看到有一些媒体文章，他还真是拿这个头号玩家来这个批评这个就是元宇宙这个概念。他说这个头号玩家他演的那个世界是有问题的，但我是这么来看的，我认为技术本身只是工具，人才是动机，人决定了一个工具是能够造福社会，还是给社会带来负面价值。我觉得元宇宙它带给我们的是更广阔的想象空间和多一个选择，多一个选择永远是好的。就像电视出现了以后，你仍然可以去看话剧和看电影，但是你多了一个选择看电视。手机出现了以后，你仍然也可以去看电视，但是你多了一个选择看手机。我前段时间去那个上海的那个天文馆，我去看了一下，那个号称是全世界最好的一个天文馆。然后我去看了以后，然后我发现其实它里面大量的场景，如果用虚拟现实来做，如果用元宇宙这种体验来做，它能够做得更好。它这个上海天文馆毕竟只有上海的孩子才能去看，如果我们真的能够通过互联网实现了一个元宇宙，里面有一个天文馆，我真的是可以让整个中国的孩子都去看一看太阳、火星、土星的那个光环，看一看彗星。所以的话，我觉得就到底一个技术它到底是让人沉迷还是让人长知识，关键是看什么人在用这个技术。
I read a recent report, media report, criticizing metaverse using examples like movie Ready Player One. However, I disagree. I believe technology is tool. It's the person that matters to make this tool to be beneficial to the society or make bad influence on the society. And metaverse represents a new choice, not a replacement of the existing reality. It's always good to have an additional choice, such as the invention of television and the invention of mobile phones. It provides alternative for you to choose, not to replace the old thing. And I recently visited the Shanghai auditorium that has the Space Museum. And actually a lot of the scenes that in the museum can be achieved in a much greater effect in virtual reality or in the metaverse. Let's imagine all those scenes that you're seeing in auditorium and in the museum can be spread in the internet, allowing all the children, all the kids in China to physically see, get a touch of how the sun is looking like, how the Saturn is looking like. So I believe it will bring great benefit to the society. It really depends on the people itself.
Thank you. The next question comes from the line of Lei Zhang from Bank of America Merrill Lynch. Please go ahead.
嗨，管理层，谢谢接受我的提问。我的问题主要是关于直播业务的。有注意到我们今年 S 赛的时候 ，B 站的这个观看量跟成绩都非常好，所以展望未来的话，能不能分享一下我们 B 站在直播业务上面的战略方向，尤其是内容和变现的层面？谢谢，我自己翻译一下。Thanks management for taking my question. My question is mainly regarding live streaming business. Notice that we have a good performance in S11 recently. So looking forward, how should we look at your live streaming business, especially in content and monetization strategy? Thank you.
这次 S 赛的这个体现出来的数据确实很亮眼。在决赛那一天，不仅我们的同时在线是创了历史新高，我们的 DAU 也创了历史新高。而且我跟团队这个就是复盘的时候，我们猜测很有可能就是 S 赛在 B 站这个直播，它是中国互联网历史上直播同时在线最高的一个活动。
Indeed, for this year's S11, on the final game night, we have record high
peak concurrent user, and our platform's DAU also reached record high in our operating history. I discussed this with our internal team, and we're predicting that the Bilibili's S11 final game night has the highest peak concurrent user in China's live broadcasting history, internet live broadcasting history.
而且的话，我特别想说的是，S 赛的直播并不是一个单向的一个我们把内容给用户的一个过程，在整个 S 赛期间，大量的主播其实是在播与 S 赛相关的内容，而且我们有大量的视频的投稿，也是在讲与 S 赛相关的内容，就是光是与 S 赛相关的这些 UP 主的视频投稿的播放数是超过了28亿。我觉得这个其实说明了什么呢？这是说明了就是对于 B 站这么一个社区来说，一个像 S 赛这样的活动，它并不是一个单向的内容的一个传送，而是一个直播点播内容互惠互补的一个正向循环。
And at the same time, I want to emphasize that the S11 is not a one-way content output. Actually, during the S11, we have massive live broadcasting hosts is doing S-game related live broadcasting. We also have tons of content creator creating derivative content associated with S11. For those videos alone, we have total video play over 2.8 billion times. And all these data points support the argument that Bilibili's live broadcasting is a natural extension of our video community, and it is forming a self-reinforcing ecosystem or a positive feedback loop within our community.
对，我觉得 S 赛只是一个例子了。事实上，我觉得 B 站的直播即使没有 S 赛，它的整个的一个就是我们从数据和生态的一个健康度来看，它的发展都是非常的一个良性的。几年前可能还有投资人会问我，说为什么你不是 B 站是一个视频网站吗？为什么会做直播？当时我会回答我说，我认为直播它是一种能力，它并不是一个品类。我认为直播是 B 站生态的一个重要的组成部分。我觉得现在的话，就即使没有 S 赛这个例子，我们比如说看 B 站的站内的内容，比如说看游戏的这个直播，比如说看原神在我们这儿的一些直播活动，比如说我们这里很多知识类的 UP 主他开的一个直播活动，比如说我们这里大量的生活区的 UP 主开的那个就是做的这种直播活动，我们会发现确确实实就是直播它已经融入到 B 站的生态里面，然后它本身是 B 站的这个能量发挥出来的一个途径。
And years ago, investor would ask me why Bilibili would do live broadcasting. My answer was live broadcasting is not a content vertical, rather a capability. And for Bilibili, it's an important component of our content ecosystem. With or without S11, our live broadcasting has already deeply embedded into our video community. For example, we see tons of knowledge, lifestyle, and entertainment related live broadcasting provided by our content creators. And we believe this has really integrated in our community. And live broadcasting on Bilibili is spreading its wings and making multiple times of influence and impact to our content community.
其实对于那个 B 站的直播来说，我觉得它也打破了就是过去很多人对于直播的一个叫定式思维。过去很多人他一提到直播，他就想，是不是直播就是秀场，是不是直播就是那个电竞的那个直播。但其实我们看 B 站，我们会发现就是 B 站有多少种视频的品类，它就有多少种直播的品类。 学习类的内容在我们这儿也有直播，生活类的内容也有直播，做饭做菜也有直播，而且的话就是这些直播它建立起的是一个正向的一个循环。比如说就说品类就是我们会发现看这个比如说看这个那个音乐品类的用户，他同时也看音乐品类的直播他的创作者也是通的。就比如说你做游戏直播的那个做游戏视频的创作者，他也是可以直播打游戏。而且的话就是他也鼓励这个 UP 主跨界，像我们这里有一个很有名的游戏的一个主播，他做视频是做什么呢？他是做美食，就是大翔哥嘛，就是大翔哥他做视频是做美食，但是他直播的话他是那个就是大原神排前几名的一个直播吧，就是这个其实也扩宽了创作者的一个创作路线。而且最重要的是什么？我认为直播它是一种健康的创作者的一种收益的一个方式。就是你视频做得再好，你视频向用户收钱其实是反人性的，我认为也是不太合理的。但是大家特别喜欢看一个人的这个视频过后，然后这个作者开一个直播，他搞一些互动的一些活动，那么喜欢他的人就可以比如通过直播我可以买他的书然后或者我通过直播我也可以参与他的活动，给他打赏，表达对这个主播的喜爱。我觉得整个的一个直播它现在就是充分的融入到 B 站的一个生态里面，而且这种化学作用它是产生出越来越多的越来越有意思的一些现象。
Again, that I think Bilibili's live broadcasting is actually breaking a lot of people's stereotypes about live broadcasting. Well, in the past, when people start thinking about live broadcasting, it is showroom or esports. However, for Bilibili's live broadcasting, our content category covers a wide array of verticals. Basically, what content verticals we have on the video platform, we have it on live broadcasting. And most importantly, we are forcing layers of positive feedback loop in terms of content verticals and as well as our content creators. For example, our content creator in games, they can also do games related live broadcasting. And we're also helping our content creator to expand their content creations category. For example, there's a food content creator who's also very good at playing games. He's actually ranking the top live broadcasting host in the Genshin Impact content creator. And most importantly, I do believe that live broadcasting is a very healthy mechanism to help our content creator to make money. For example, to charge people from watching videos, it's kind of not a positive it's probably not the best monetization method. But if you love a content creator so much, you would be very willing to watching his live broadcasting, buying his recommended product, or just simply tip him to showcase your appreciation. And that's also the exact reason that we believe that live broadcasting is a very important component within Bilibili's community. And this chemistry that is playing in the community is creating a very large benefit to all the participants.
我觉得对于未来我们的那个直播业务来说的话，首先我们会沿着我们现有的这种生态驱动，就相当于是那个我们把直播和视频要充分融合的这样的一个思路继续走下去，因为这个可以保持我们直播这个业态的一个健康度。然后除了这个之外的话，另外2点吧，我认为会是重点。我觉得第一个呢，就是那个相当于是这个 UP 主跟主播的这么一个这个互相的一个渗透我认为这个是一个重点。因为我一直认为所有视频的用户都应该是直播的用户这个也是为了让我们把这个视频跟直播更好的融合在一起的一个目标。第二个呢，我觉得我们还是要进一步的去探索就真正适合 B 站的一些直播品类，真正在 B 站上面能够长出来的一些直播品类。因为我们视频的用户增长 的原因是因为我们开拓了很多新的品类，而这些新的品类是别的平台没有的。你比如说从之前的鬼畜到后面的这种知识类的视频，这其他平台都没有的，就是在我们这儿开拓出来的。那个我觉得对于我们的直播也是一样，我认为我们的直播在未来一定能够开拓出很多在其他平台没有的，只有我们这里有的一些形式，而这些形式会广受用户欢迎。
And as we look ahead, we'll continue to implement our content ecosystem-driven business model. We'll continue to integrate live broadcasting with our video business. We'll continue to penetrate the two user groups, content creator and live broadcasting host. And also, we do believe that all the video users could potentially become live broadcasting users. Secondly, is that we'll really to discover and develop Bilibili's unique live broadcasting categories. I think one of the reasons that our video platform is so successful is that we have our own unique content category, such as auto-tune remix and knowledge sector. Those content verticals are Bilibili's has Bilibili's unique taste to it, and so is what we plan for our live broadcasting business. We want to develop our own unique content categories that has Bilibili's flavor to it.
And that concludes the question and answer session. I would like to turn the conference back over to management for any additional or closing comments.
Thank you once again for joining us today. If you have any further questions, please contact me, Julia Yang, Bilibili's IR Director, or TPG Investor Relations. Our contact information for IR in both China and the US can be found on today's press release. Have a great day. Bye-bye.